Hey guys and gals, how is it going? I appreciate you hitting that play button. Let's go, turn it up. Turn it up, you beautiful, intelligent, smart individuals, peoples. Let's go. Quickly gonna check my stream, make sure we're okay again. I hope we are. Peoples, let's go. Looks like we're good. Awesome. Awesome. Sauceum. Awesome sauceum. All right, we're gonna continue. Let's keep going. Okay. Occasionally, those of you that are kind of just new and watching along, Johnny, name's Johnny. I tend to go on a tangent every once in a while, but hey, it's all for the good. It's all for the good, you know, teaching and growing. We are together. We're doing a 3D game creation, or we're just, you know, getting the basics and such down here in Unity. There's also a little bit of code behind as well that goes with it. That's all part of game development and game creating. Let's go. You guys need to learn how to C++, or well, for this you need Kelly Clarkson. You need to learn C#. That's fine. If you learn C++, you're totally going to be okay. Because if you learn C++, C Sharp's going to be gravy on top of your potatoes. Gravy on top of your potatoes. Yes. Not your toenail toes, but your potatoes. That's right. Let's go. Turn it up. Okay, so we're gonna continue. Where are we at here? What have we done? Let's recap. We got our camera to follow our vehicle. That's good. That's good. Awesome, awesome. So that's the code for that. The green part's all notes, guys and gals. Technically, we don't even need this. We could just delete it, but whatevs. No reason for it to save, no changes. If you notice an asterisk beside your code name or your script name, that means it's dirty. Dirty means it's not saved. Okay? It's a little asterisk, you know? Asterisk! Okay? Yeah, and so we've got our vehicle moving. Okay, so far, nobody's in the driver's seat. Well, Grandma was in earlier, but poor Grandma, she got kind of kicked out. She was driving too slow, guys. She was just driving way too slow. Too slow. Or was that her? Maybe she was driving earlier. Either she's super fast, like the Millennial Falcon, or she was driving too slow, like a snail. So anyways, guys, there's nobody operating the vehicle. The vehicle is basically AI. It is manless. Nobody is operating it. We shall run. Let's run it. Have a look. Okay. Kind of going at a normal speed. But we got no control. See ya. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so let's put in some code and operate this good old military piece of equipment. Okay, what do we do first? First thing we do is, well, we got to go to our player control, right? If we select the vehicle, okay, the script that is attached to the vehicle is called player controller. Okay, you can name it whatever you want, guys. You can call it operating code. Remember, when you're creating your scripts, okay, there's no spaces, and you have to follow proper coding etiquette, if you will. Proper coding practices. So what we're creating here is essentially a class. And all classes begin with a capital letter. Okay, and we have two words in here technically. Okay, the other keynote, guys, okay, I recommend, watch if you want. It'd be great if you did. Hopefully you could stay awake when you're doing it. Stay focused, right? Keep that positive mind that you want to learn. I have a whole series of C++ videos. I'm telling you guys, if you learn C++, you can learn C#. Not a problem. The only thing really different, like the concepts, the fundamentals, the storing values and variables and classes and all those things that are involved with coding in C++, well, it's the same with C#, except you just the way you do your line code writing is a little bit different. The syntax, if you will, just slightly different. Okay, I don't know. Today is a tired day for me. I swear to God. Hopefully, I'm doing okay for you guys and gals. All right, so let's do some code. So we are going to make our vehicle functional by a human person. Human person. All right, so what we need to do, it's another transform. Again, this is, we're not rotating, no. The transform, let me just go like this, dot, okay. This transform is a component, this transform attached to this game object. Transform, dot transform. Oh, it looks like it's a getter. No, I don't know. What's up? Translate. Let's just finish maybe the code here and see what's up. Okay, this is a method. Okay, all methods have parentheses. Okay, this translate is a method. Okay, this transform here, it's saying get. Transform get method. It's really strange. When you're learning coding, guys, and creating classes and such, usually the norm is create an object, and the object has access to the methods. So my brain is like thinking this is an object, right? I'm talking about an object in coding. Okay, again, going back to here, these are all objects in our world environment. So kind of separate the two concepts in your mind, okay, for the most part, but either way they're one and the same, sort of, kind of. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, big yays. All right, awesome. Okay, translate. So what do we do? Well, direction. Okay, so far we're going forward, and if we look at our code, X is 0, Y is 0, and Z is 1. Okay, so 1 is just a value for the code behind, giving the program, I guess the software, which direction it should be going. Well, that direction is Z, right? So it has to have a 1 value, and there we go. It's right there, that's Z, okay? And anything multiplied by 1, well, it's just gonna return this, whatever it's being multiplied by. In this case, we're multiplying our armor speed by time.delta. Time is a class created by Unity Engine. and it's all part. It's basically code behind hidden code. I imagine we could view code or peak definition, but we're not going to get into that. I don't want to get on a tangent here. Okay. When you're learning to code in a console, you get a console pop up. When you're doing just basic line code or line writing, and the main, I don't think there is a main here, is there? Yeah, no main. No main. You'll learn all that when you're learning C++ and C# from the beginning, okay? I'm not going to get into that right now. Okay, let's focus. Back to here. So again, we're multiplying the value 20. Again, this is a variable, right? So it's storing a value in memory, okay? Just to give you an idea. There's a value attached to these words that you see on the screen. Okay, here we're multiplying it by, well, we're multiplying it by this value that's stored in delta time. Time is just a class. It owns basically the word delta time, and the delta time is a getter, okay? So when the class basically runs the getter gets a value, and that value is stored into this variable, and the variable or the value inside stored in memory is being multiplied by the value that is in our armor speed, which is right here. Okay, this is a float. A float, again, hopefully you've been following along and you're good at mathematics. Integers are whole numbers, and while floats are basically decimal values. Okay, you just get more accuracy. Again, when you're coding and gaming, if you look at our values here, they're all float values for the most part. You can make them integers as well, but I don't know how many significant digits we're going to here, but there's more accuracy, right? Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. Let's start here. Okay, vector 3. Okay, we need that, except we're not going forward. We want to steer the vehicle, right? We've already got a forward, so we want to steer, right? We want to have manual control. Well, which direction are we gonna be steering, guys, if we're inside this vehicle? Okay, which direction? Blue is forward. Well, obviously green is up. Okay, we're not in an aeroplane, so we're gonna steer left or right. So that means the X value, right? So we're gonna be modifying or changing the X value. Okay. That X value is called, we're going to change it. So remember, these are our getters, right? The vector 3, we're doing 3D coding. It's a struct. This word here, it's no different. It's all the same thing. Just like delta time is owned by time. Time is a class. Vector 3 is essentially a class, but it's called struct. It's just another way of doing, well, I don't want to get into the details. Just think of it like a class. Okay, it does all the same kind of magic. Again, I recommend you guys learn C++ and C# so that you have a better understanding of what you're looking at here instead of words. Anybody can type words, right? If you don't know what you're typing or what it means, well, all you're doing is typing a bunch of words that you don't understand, right? I'm here trying to help you guys understand it a little bit better without going too deep into it. Again, I spent the time learning. It'd be great and awesome if you did the same, right? Appreciate you. Okay, so forward, the value forward, which is reflected for the value Z, right? Is forward. That's blue. Blue is forward. Okay, it's going to get our forward value. Okay, we need side-to-side values. What would that be? Back? Well, that's negative, right? Negative's backwards. What other stuff do we have? Now, so you guys know, right? So we're accessing this class or struct. We hit our dot, the word, what's the dot separator? Yeah, dot separator. When you learn about objects and such, when you're doing classes and creating objects, and the dot separator is how you access methods or variables and such. Okay? For example, all the purple stuff here, these are all methods. Okay? A purple cube is a method. Wrench, well, they're getters. Okay? So we're looking for another getter, right? That's what we need, a getter. Are we going down? No, we're not going down. Are we going forward? We already got forward. Okay. Oh, left. Ooh, left. We could go left. We can also... Now, ignore all the other ones, because the logic here is we're turning. We want to turn. It's either we're turning forward. Well, can't turn forward. Are we turning backwards? Well, technically, you kind of, I guess you can. But we're looking for left or right. Okay, there we go. Right. Okay, so I haven't used left. I would assume you could use left. If we look at it, left would be +1. So that's our x value. See? X is 1, Y is 0, Z is 0. This is just so you guys and gals can understand what you're looking at here a little bit better. Okay? So that's all we've done. Okay, so now we're translating the vehicle, transforming. We want the vehicle to do different things in motion. We've got a line of code for it to go forward. Well, now we need a line of code for it to go and do other operations, right? Make sense? Okay. So let's see. What else do we need? Okay, having a look. We need the vehicle to go left or right. All right, we're going to do all the same thing, guys and gals. Okay, it's all kind of the same thing. We're going to need to reuse time.delta again. Okay, that doesn't change. Okay, very consistent here with the code. What else do you think we're going to need, guys and gals? What else do you think we're going to need? You think about it a little bit, right? We need a value so we could turn. So what is that going to be called? What shall we call that? Well, let's see. So we have a public accessor. Our data type is a float. And our variable is called armor speed, and the value for that speed is 20. That's our forward speed, right? That one is for forward. Our forward motion, okay? Now we need something for left-right, okay? Are we gonna make it public? We could easily change our code later on, guys and gals, okay? Remember, if you've been following along, you see this public armor speed. If we look at our vehicle, you can see here we could actually edit the value within Unity, which is awesome. And the reason that we can is because we have typed our code in such a way that we have public access. Okay, hope that makes sense, right? Again, that's all part of learning coding. You guys will learn also about public accessors, public and private access modifiers. Okay, so this is public, so that means we could actually edit our values while we're in Unity. Eventually, we're going to make them private, right? But for testing and for playing around, for tweaking, for making adjustments, we're going to have it public, right? Because you can. You're the one making it. You're the one typing the code. It's your game. It's your program. You could do whatever you want. Let's go! Okay, let's do another one. Public, we're going to make it a float as well. Remember, guys, if you're not certain about the data type, let me show you how you figure that out. Let's just create our variable for now. It's public. I don't know if we're going to have, let's see. I haven't actually gave it a value, right? All we did was initialize, declare is the word. All we've done is declared a variable. We haven't initialized. Initializing means giving it a value. Okay, this is all part of coding terminology. Listen to these words that I'm saying. You'll hear other coders and instructors and teachers and other channels on YouTube. They'll use the same lingo and terminology. Okay, it's all part of it. It's part of computer science. Okay, let's have a look. I've saved that. Okay, nothing's changed here. We have saved it. Whoops. Right? It's saved. No, it's still dirty. Okay. I seen the asterisk right there, so that told me I haven't saved it. Okay. There we go. See, turn speed. Why is it 0, guys? Well, that's good. That's good to know. Okay, so I guess old school thinking, like especially with C++ coding, if you don't initialize a variable, that variable is going to hold garbage in memory. Garbage meaning, I don't know, it might look like a bunch of hexadecimal, I don't know, garbage. Computer messed up. Yeah, you know, stuff that we can't read as humans, right? It looks like hexadecimal, essentially. But lucky for us, see, and if you notice, here I haven't initialized it, but well, lo and behold, in C#, it actually assigned it a value of 0. Cool. So that's good to know. With C#, I'm just going to type some C# code, not C#, C++ code, right? That's C++, this is C#. Okay? C++ is basically increment operator. It's advanced C. C is the original. The ++ essentially is derived from when they added in the increment operators. Okay, but anyways, I'm getting on a tangent. But here in C++, you would create here, let me just type this, turn speed. Again, this isn't going to work here, but when you're doing C++ coding, it will work. To initialize a value without going equals 0, that's the same thing, right? I'm initializing the value of 0 to our variable. Okay, so I'm teaching you a little bit here, line coding, I guess. In C++, I like doing it this way. You use the curly brackets. And that's the way I would actually initialize my variables, by using the curly brackets. Again, C# and C++, very close in the relation, very similar. Like I said, you guys could learn C++ and then learn C#, not a problem. Again, gravy on your potatoes, and you know you love gravy on your potatoes. On your potatoes. Oh yeah. Gravy on your potatoes, right? So again, it's just the syntax. It's just there's little different, I don't know, nuances, I guess, with the two different languages. Okay, I could easily gave it a value of 0. So me being weird and all, I think you don't really need to do this way, but I'm a bit kind of odd, I guess, and I like to be a little bit finicky, and I don't know what the right words are, but I'll type 0.0f. You always have to type the F, guys. Okay, whenever you're working with floats. Okay, let's say we went 3.2. Okay, it's with C sharp, C++, you don't have to do that, but with C sharp you do. Okay, there's a little different nuances is the word. I believe that's the correct word. There's a little bit different or little different subtleties between C++ and C sharp. That's all it is. Bottom line, the I'm trying to find the right word in my brain. Like the methodology or the fundamentals and such are literally the same. Okay, similar, not exactly the same, but similar. Okay, again, put F when you're working with floats. Now, if you're not sure, here's where I'm going to get into. Okay, I'm giving you guys a little more extra learning here. Okay, I know it's great. We just want to, type code and make objects move and just work in Unity. That's great and all. It really is. I want to do that as well. But you also, it's you kind of need to understand the fundamentals. Okay, I mean, again, anybody could type the alphabets. Anybody could arrange the alphabets into words. But if you've never read the dictionary of that word, you don't understand what that word is. You know how to spell the word. Okay, that's awesome. Great. You know how to spell the word. But you don't understand the word, right? You know what I mean? You following me? Okay, turn speed. 3.2. So let's get back to this. Let's look at this. Okay, let's see. Where am I looking for? What am I looking for here? I'm looking for... We need some information on this. Let's see if we could actually bring it up. Dot forward. It's not really saying it here. Usually it tells you. Oh, maybe it's here. Dot. Let me just bring this up here. Okay, no, it's not telling me there either. Right here does for delta. It says float. You see that? If you're uncertain about the data type that you're supposed to enter, look at the getter. Okay? That'll tell you. It's a float. Okay, so the reason I brought that up, guys, is right, because we could go, oh, well, is our turn speed an integer? Right? No, it's not an integer. Okay? It's a float. Right? And I'm bringing this up so that you could go here, and then you could go dot forward, and you can look. It's not really showing us here. I wish it did. I don't know what to say. Here it's not showing it. It's telling us shorthand. We know that it's shorthand. Shorthand, the fine devs at Unity, just like all devs, they're making things easier, more user-friendly for, people that are new to learning or wanting to learn, right? So you could type this. I could easily type, right? Instead of typing right, I could easily just put in X, Y, and Z values. Okay? Why are you arguing? Vector 3 can't be used like that. Blah, 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 blah. Da, 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 da. Why? Are you being like that? Whoops. Redo. Let me just have a look here, guys. Oh, maybe it doesn't like the fact that I'm typing it like a float. That could be it. Method. So maybe it wants me to go 1, 0, and 0. Is that correct? No. Oh. Oh, I did need that. Yeah. Brackets are important. Can't be used. What? Can't be. Oh. What am I typing here that's different? New, vector 3. It's really being weird right now for me. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna go Z. We're just gonna undo here. Okay, just looking at it, it's really odd why it's doing that to me. But look at it. Vector 3, curly bracket, not curly bracket, parenthesis. The X value is 1. Okay, 0, 0. So the point is right is the same as saying 1, 0, 0. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, I know. I drag my stories on way too long, guys. I know. More sleep, more coffee, less excuses. Let's go! All right. Get some coding lessons. Okay, so we need a value, turn speed. Okay, let's use that. Now that we created it, if we look here, it's not updating here, right? So have I saved this? It's dirty. You can see an asterisk. Let's see if it'll fix it. Whoa. Don't hit insert, whatever you do. I just want to test something here. Sometimes I hit that insert button and it drives me crazy. There, the dirty is gone. Okay. It's not updating it here as 3.2. It initially when it created it, it's put a value of 0. Now the only other way I could think of resetting it is to maybe make it private. Okay, control home. Now obviously that would be up here now. There's differences between private and public access, guys, right? It's obvious. Okay, saving. There we go. See, now it's gone. Okay, now watch this. Okay, whoa, blah blah blah. What are you telling me? I know there's stuff to do. The field player turn speed is assigned. Well, yeah, this is just common stuff. Even Visual Studio will tell you this. It's kind of, see, that's a good thing about C#. C# gives you more little hints, right? Here it's telling me you've created the variable, but you're not using it. Essentially, that's all it's saying to us here, guys. Okay, it's not a big deal. Okay, the software is helpful, and it's giving you little tips and suggestions. That's the great thing about Visual Studio. Obviously, Unity was saying the same thing. Yeah, so let's carry on. That's all it is. We declared it, we initialized it, but we haven't used it in our code. That's all it means. Okay? Just so you don't have to worry or panic. Okay, so I made it private. Okay? So the point is now it's gone from here. Okay? I'll try to put myself into another gear here. Okay? So let's make it public. Okay, and this should kind of refresh it. Okay, we should now see, I saved it, I just saved it. It should refresh it. And it marked it as 0 again. Okay, I'm not going to argue with the program. The program has its own mind. It's going to do, that's what it wants to do, guys. Okay, I don't know. I can't argue with it. What do you want me to do? Like I can't be Ant-Man, guys. I'm not Ant-Man. I can't go inside the computer and just start yelling at it, you know? That would just be weird. what it's doing and why it's doing it, I don't know. Maybe when I initially created it, it's in the system here in the in here somewhere saved, and it's already been created as a value as 0, and it's just remembering or recalling that information. So not much I could do. So, but we could go 3.2 because that's what I have for a turn speed. Okay, we're not finished, so let's speed it up here. Okay, we actually have to put in that variable now. Okay, so we're gonna take it. I'm just gonna copy it. All I do, guys, is I double left click, and it'll quickly highlight so that you're not having to drag. You know what I mean? If you want to copy a variable, I do that lots so that I'm not having to type it, because I'm bad typer. I'm a terrible typer. If you guys ever watched me type, the is spelt like that, and is spelt like that. Yeah, it's brutal. I don't know if it's a gamer thing or what it is. I'm not the only one in the world that does that. I'm thinking it's gotta be a gamer thing. I don't know. Maybe it's an OCD thing. Maybe it's an ADHD thing. I don't know, guys. Okay, double clicking, double left click, Control C, and let's paste it in there. Asterisk is our multiply sign, guys. Okay, again, we can't use X because X is technically can be used as a variable. Okay, makes sense? I know in school, in mathematics, multiply is an X symbol. Why we do that, I don't know, because you can actually use X, Y, and Z as variables in mathematics as well. Okay? All right, there we go. So we're multiplying our turn speed by time. Time is key, otherwise we'd be zooming like really fast, and we don't want that. This goes based on intervals in seconds from the last frame. So it all is in correlation with frames per second, FPS, guys. Okay? I don't have any more information than that. If you want to research time.delta time more and have a better understanding of it, by all means. Okay, let's check it out. All right. Let's have a look. Can we actually operate our vehicle? That's the question. What have we done? Now think about this. Can we operate our vehicle? I don't know. Can we? No, but our vehicle is going to the right. Okay? Cool. Why is that, guys? Why is that? Think about it logically. We're using the right. Remember, the right is in a positive direction. That's what it means. It's basically background. It has to be done this way. A value needs to be put in to when the code is created so that the computer knows which direction to go. And that's in a positive in a positive direction in the X direction. I could change this to left. Watch what happens. Okay, we're going to change it to left. Left is in the negative direction. Okay, left is negative, right is positive. Okay, saving it. Now watch. Okay, the program's updating. That's all normal. Okay, let's run it. Let's go. Hope you have your seatbelt on. So there you guys go. That's it. That's the only difference, right? Right, left. Okay? And then, of course, you have for back. Backwards would be negative. Okay? So that's all we've done. So if you think about it logically, it doesn't matter if you're bossum at Unity. It doesn't matter if you're bossum at line coding. I'm just having the general understanding of, okay, well, all I've done so far is I've put in values for speed. I've got values for time, and I've got a value. Each of them is holding a value of 1, right? Which is fine. Anything multiplied by 1 is going to be still. So if you multiply 2 values together and you multiply it by 1, it's mathematics 101, guys. It's the same value, right? So that's why they hold values of 1. It's just for direction, okay? That's all it is. It's kind of for the computer to know which way to go. Which way do I go? Right? That's all it is. Okay, so we don't have any user input, guys. We got nothing, right? There's no user input code, right? How do we do user input code, right? If you've FPS gamed and such, normally you'll go into your settings. Typically you get a game, whether it's new, whether it's Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever your favorite game is. Could be Roblox, could be Minecraft. Either they're first person shooters or they're third person, okay? The two perspectives. Now you'll go into your settings somewhere and you'll change your controls, whether you're using keyboard and mouse or joystick. That's kind of your choice or preference. Also, there's nothing that says you can't use a controller on a PC, because that's been a thing, guys. That's been a thing for a lot of years, like probably 30 years since the first PC or whatever. You used game pads for input, or even joysticks. You've heard joysticks before, right? They're all, and then even the keyboard was invented back then, right? Obviously. Okay, because we need a way to put in user input. So we need to go and edit. Am I in edit here? Oh, jeez, McFly! Let's go into the right program. Got to get used to jumping back and forth here. Project settings. Okay, we have under edit. Okay, I'm going to close this. Edit. Project settings. You need to be familiar with, what's up. I know I didn't finish all these. We're kind of going through it already. But we don't need to go through all of that anyways. So let's not worry about that. You can refresh the screen. You can open project here. I mean, what you can do down here, you can do up here, essentially. Okay? When I was doing Win forms, I could actually create all this stuff and do code behind for it. So, and that's how you create a program, essentially. Okay, let's go here. So, project settings, input manager. Okay, input manager is, keyboard controls, controller controls. Okay, and if you look here, we could click now don't be changing stuff, but you can, I'm sure you'll be able to reset them. But you have this drop down called axes or axes, okay? It's not axing. We're not axing any questions. They're axes, X and Y and Z. Okay, you have a direction called horizontal. Okay. The buttons you could use. Key or mouse button. Okay, vertical, up, down, negative, positive, right? Makes sense. Positive direction, negative direction. Same thing, input type, key or mouse button. Okay, that's just to take note. Now look at the name here. Okay, this is something I'm used to with WinForms. The name is, whatever you name it, is kind of used as for your essentially for your methods. Okay, but in this case they're using it as a string value. A string is just an array of characters. That's all it is. Each character, each letter is a character, and a whole bunch of characters is a string, essentially. Okay? And each character has its own ASCII code. But I don't want to get into that right now. Okay, notice the name says vertical. Okay, same thing with horizontal. The name is horizontal. Okay, with WinForms, I know name is usually used with the method, so it has more control. This not only is this name have a value, but it's gonna help us with our code as well. Okay, so I'm gonna close that. We're gonna try to use the KISS method here a little bit. What's our time at? Okay, we're getting up there in time again. I apologize, guys, if I maybe take a little long and explain things. I just want to give you guys, the world, a better understanding of what's up, right? Versus, oh, here you go, just type this. Okay, here's what you type. Okay, but not have an understanding of what you're typing, right? This is kind of more in-depth for you guys, all right? Thank you for understanding. I mean, if I'm too in-depth for you, I mean, I guess you could learn somewhere else, all right? Love ya, and I guess I'll see you later. You'll probably be back, so it'd be awesome if you did. So, anyways, enough of that. More coffee, nurse. Okay, let's finish with our code here. We need to do some input. Get some magic happening here, okay? Because we don't have any input. We need to do some input. Okay, so looking at it, okay, here's the understanding. We're moving on a horizontal plane, right? Guys, we're not moving on a vertical plane. We're moving on a horizontal plane, right? So let's do this. Also take note, guys. I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight, okay? When you're typing in fields and information, all this stuff is in a class is automatically private access, okay? You don't know this because it's not written private, okay? So anything, I'm gonna like just, let's say this wasn't here. All of these are all private. Everything's private until we tell it that it's public. All right, makes sense? Okay, so essentially that's private stuff. It's all private. Okay, but we can make it public. All right, so let's do that. We're gonna create another variable called public. It's gonna be a float as well. I'm gonna try to speed this up. Horizontal input. Okay, there we go. All I did was create a variable. I haven't initialized it to any value. All right, so short of over explaining things, let's just type some code. Okay, horizontal input. This variable, which is a float value, is going to equal. And remember, when we went to here, we went to our input manager, right? Input manager. We are now typing input. Input. There we go. Input is, so this is something new for you guys. It's also a class. Okay, it's part of Unity engine created. Interface into the input system. Okay. Dot. We're working with axes values, right? So let's get an axis value. Axes That's a method. How did I know it was a method? Let me just bring that up again. Get. Anything that's purple cube, is a method. All methods have parameters. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're on the horizontal input. So going back here, this is why I was showing you guys and gals this, okay? I'm not just talking for nothing, okay? We look at it, horizontal, the name is horizontal, okay? That's what we need. Close. Okay, that's the link. Okay, again, it takes a string value, and if you're confused, look at it here. Okay, float, yes, float is a decimal value. Our input is going to be get axes. Okay, that's kind of, this is a method, but it takes a string for a parameter, guys. Okay, a string is a series of characters. Okay, all strings are inside quotation marks. Okay, you'll learn this when you're learning coding. Okay, I'm gonna put paste. There we go. I pasted the value or the name from our system. That's the link, guys. Okay, that's the link right there. We're using that string value, okay, which is attached to name essentially. There we go. Now we have horizontal input. Okay, let's see if we could actually do something. Let's find out. Okay, program saved. Let's run it. Okay. Oh, I have no control still. Oh my God, we're driving off to the right. Why? Okay, why are we? Guys, why are we driving off to the right? What are we missing? What are we missing? What are we missing? Let's see, we've got this. We've basically declared it here. We've initialized it here. We're saying whatever value's here. So essentially it gets a float value for us and stores it in here, right? Because this is a float, right? So it gets a float value. Okay, I'm not gonna go deep and into internally on how it works here. I'd have to see the code behind, right? To be able to view it how it works, you have to actually see the code. Okay, peak definition, view code. We're not going to do that. I don't want to get too deep here. I'm already feel like I'm over explaining as it is, but I want you guys to have at least somewhat of an understanding, right? Just a gist, a good gist understanding. Okay, so it's a get method. Okay, gets a value, which is going to be converted to a float value, stored into horizontal input. So now we have a value. So if you think about it logically, oh, well, there's a decimal value that's stored in this variable. Can I use that? I wonder. Let's try it out. Let's see. Let's take this value. We want to turn, right? So let's see, can we turn with that value? Let's put it in there. Let's find out. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, we saved, not dirty. Let's find out. Let's check it out. Yeah, I got some control, guys. Let's go! Let's go! We got control, boys and girls. Woohoo! Let's go! Remember, if I don't control it, guys, remember, if I take that out, just gonna cut this out. Control X. Control Home, Shift S, saving. Remember, what happens when I don't have any input? It just veers off to the right. It veers off to the right because, well, it's using the vector 3 right. If I put vector 3 left, well, it would veer off to the left. But cool. Now we got some horizontal input. Again, we're multiplying values. Values, whether they're integers or floats, those values are what are being multiplied to each other. It's not variables. We're not multiplying words together. Again, if you understand how it all works under the hood, right? That's why I say you have to have an understanding of how code works under the hood. Okay, we're multiplying values together. Okay? Wow, that's awesome. Let's go, big yays. Yeah, let's go! Oh, I didn't save nothing. I forgot something. What's up? Let's go back here. What did I do wrong? Oh, it's dirty. That's why. It was dirty. I didn't save. Okay, always save, guys. Okay, if it doesn't work and you're like, what did I do wrong? Well, just go back to your code, see if it's dirty. That's all. Okay, let's run it again. Yeah! Now I got control. Let's go. We're getting somewhere, guys, except we're kind of doing this weird stuff. It's like we're moving sideways and not really turning, right? But we have left and right control, which is awesome. I'm going to finish this up. Let's finish this up. I'm going to try to speed things up. Okay? So, looking at the code, we have horizontal input value now. Okay? We have user input control now. Take control of the vehicle speed. What else can we do? Let's see. Let's see. Hold up. Let's see. What do we have for code right now? We have turn speed. We have horizontal input. We have time delta time multiplied by our vector 3 right value. Forward input. So we could get control of forward speed. Is that what we need, guys? Let's try it out. Okay, so we're going to create another public value, right? If there's horizontal input, why wouldn't there be vertical input, right? Makes sense? Okay, there we go. Forward input, I guess we should have used, not vertical, because we're not, we need some more forward, we need forward control, right? Think about it logically here, guys. Our code right here, this line, we still don't really have any control here. We have control on this line, but we don't have really any control here. Make sense? Okay. This is done automatically based internally. Okay. The forward value is just a direction for the system. It tells the system, it's kind of the system, the code behind all the magic that's happening under the hood. It's just for the system so it knows which way to go. Really, bottom line, that's all it is. We still don't have any control. We're just telling the system which way to go, right? Essentially. Okay, so we have our speed. Let's add in our forward input. Okay, what's our forward input going to be? Okay, let's take this. Forward input is going to be, now we're going off the vertical. I mean, I could use vertical, but whatever. I know it kind of boggles your mind a little bit because we're not really technically going vertical. So get axes again. And of course, let's finish our code here. Whoops. And we're going to put a string. It's saying horizontal, but that's incorrect. Okay, why would it ask for us to go horizontal again? I don't know. Okay, let's go back here. Let's have a look. Just here, you guys, when I'm doing this and giving instruction, I'm giving a more in-depth understanding. Okay, let's be clear about this. Okay, again, I could just type the code. I could just type it all in and not explain anything. But what are you learning, right? Vertical. Okay, vertical is up, down. Oh, look, W button. W button, guys. W button. That's a vertical? I guess it would be. Right? We don't think of it like that logically in our mind. Vertical is up, just like an airplane, up or down, up or down. But when you're playing your FPS game or your third-person shooter, you're usually running W is forward and S is backwards, right? Essentially, we could kind of use it in that same sense, right? So, yes, that's just the input we need, okay? It's based on our settings in the background here, okay? So, the word, I could have went back there. I'm just going to copy and paste it just so you guys can see. So, I'm going to go vertical. I'm going to actually copy vertical, okay? Don't change it. Hopefully you don't change it, right? Don't mess with your settings, okay? Again, it's a string, right? This method takes a string value. Inside the parentheses is a string value, okay? Vertical. Okay, let's save that. Get rid of the, see an asterisk right there? That means the code's dirty. Dirty means not saved. All right? It's not that kind of dirty, you guys. Sheesh. Sheesh. Okay, let's go back here. But there's something we were missing, right? Let's focus here, okay? I'm trying to speed things up too, right? Otherwise I could kind of drag it out. Let's take our forward input and we're going to multiply that value too. Okay? Let's put it in our code. Okay? Again, this is our forward control. Remember, this is forward. This here is our turn speed, which is essentially left, right. Okay? Right, guys? That's our left, right. Here we're going to take advantage of the W button, okay, on our keyboard. So essentially that's what we're doing here, guys. So that makes sense. So the system is going to it's going to use this class, and it's going to use the method inside this input class, which is linked to our controls, right, in the system, right? Essentially this is all part of the system, right? Okay, it's our link up. Okay, let's save that and let's check it out. Okay, code's updating, or the software is updating. Let's find out. Do I have any forward control? Oh, look, it's not moving now, guys. Oh, I have backwards control too. Let's go. All right, turn it up. Turn it up. Oh! Oh! Oh, I'm bouncing everywhere. Let's go. See ya. Let's run it once more. Okay? We're not quite done yet, guys and gals. Okay? We're kind of just driving sideways here. It looks a little bit derpy, right? Not quite there yet, but we're getting there. I could go backwards. Careful of the boulders. Here we go. Ah! It's awesome. Okay. Make vehicle rotate instead of sliding. Okay. That's what's happening right now. We're kind of grinding the side of the wheels a little bit. Kind of like those drivers that the vehicles doesn't have any forward motion, and they're turning their steering tires, and I could just see them molecules at a molecular level, all that rubber just grinding and melting on the pavement because the vehicle doesn't have any forward motion, but they're turning their steering tires and melting their rubber. Nobody thinks of that kind of stuff. Drives me crazy. When you're moving, turn your wheels when you're moving, not when you're stopped. Unbelievable. Where are you from? California? Kind of like one of those guys that drives their vehicle. They're pressing on the gas pedal. They have their left foot on the brake and they have their right foot on the gas pedal. And they're driving like this. Vroom, 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 vroom. Who drives like that? Can you not just slightly hold the accelerator gradually and lightly and just lightly, gradually accelerate and decelerate? No, you're going vroom, vroom, vroom. I don't want to be your passenger. You're making me seasick. Oh, that's hilarious. I know. Nobody thinks of these things. I know, but it's real. It's a real thing. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so what do we need to do to our code? Okay, so we have all this. Okay, we have all that. We have all that. Looking at our program a little bit here, let's click our vehicle. Oh, look. Because everything's public, right? So now we have, see, this is public, public, public. We have access to all these values. Oh, look, it's 3.2. All right. Ha! I put that in there, didn't I? So anyways, but yeah, look, we have a horizontal input and a forward input. Cool. But what do we have to do to make our code better? Okay, so let's see, thinking about this. Just sometimes you got to stop and think and just breathe and just try to think about it a little bit, right? Let's see. Okay, so we've got our vehicle speed. We've got our forward input. Okay, that's all good. Okay, here turn speed, horizontal input, Okay, so essentially this code up here, okay, let's see, our above code, no, right here, this code here. Essentially this code here is already calculating our angle, okay, it's our horizontal input. If we got rid of this, right, remember how the vehicle just kind of turned to the right on its own? Again, without this, this is our user control value right here, right, guys? Okay, we just did that. This is our speed. This is our user control value. If I got rid of this, then all the vehicle's doing is moving to the right. Again, it's moving at an angle, right? So what do we have to do? Let's see. Translate. Translate's more of a linear motion, isn't it, guys? Right? Isn't it? If we think about it, translate is a linear motion. Now, if you're good at mathematics and you were listening in high school, you would have heard the word linear. Linear, you know, like a lot of people that can only think in a linear fashion. Linear means straight line. So essentially, uh, I kind of joke. Some people are 2D. Either you're 2D, two-dimensional, or you're three-dimensional. Okay? 2D is linear. X and Y, straight line. Also, you can. Well, I don't want to get into trigonometry, but that's another thing. Okay, let's try something here. Transform. Okay, now that we're slowly getting better at this. Okay, transform. So we want to kind of turn. Okay, is there a turn? No, there's a translate. Okay, what else? What else could we use for words for going, for turning? What would you do with your steering wheel? How would you turn an object? Oh, rotate. Rotate! Turn it up! Let's go! How about we transform rotate? Oh, that's such a beautiful thing. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, so think about it, guys. This code translates linear. Okay? I'm doing this deliberately so you guys can understand. Okay, vector up. Well, we don't want to go up, right? Up is in the y direction, right? If you look at it, that would be more for like an airplane type vehicle, right? Or a flying object. Okay, so, but the reason, oh, hold up. Let me go back here. Okay, we'll leave it there. I noticed the music was stopped. We're gonna finish up here, guys. I know I'm long and drawn out, and but you're really. Hopefully, you guys are learning a lot. That's all that matters. Okay, so again, this is a linear motion. This is already everything in here is already calculating our angles, right? If you think about it logically. So let's just copy all this and paste it into our rotate method. Okay, let's try that out, guys. Is that gonna work? Rotate. I don't know. Let's see if we can break it. Can we break the program? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, I just saved. Okay, program saved. Let's run it. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh. Except now, I don't really have any rotation. Whoa, we almost lost the vehicle. Okay, so I got something weird in my code. I'm doing something wrong here. Transform, rotate. Oh, it's not a vector, right? Okay, well maybe, so the program was suggesting up? It was suggesting up. Let's have a look. Let's try to think about this so we understand it a little bit better. Up. Up is vertical. Up is also our W, right? So we can still technically use up. Oh, up is a positive button as well. Which is +1, right? Positive direction. Oh, so we could use up as well? Cool. So let's change that then. This is supposed to be vector up. Remember, when I typed transform rotate, guys, if you noticed, right, I kind of changed it on purpose so you could see, right? Now, it's not doing it now. It actually was recommending something else. It's too late now, but initially it gave me this as a suggestion. So the program's great that way. It'll give you suggestions. Sometimes it'll give, for the most part, it's going to give you the correct suggestion, all right? So let's do that. So it's supposed to be up, huh? All right, well, let's test it out. Let's give it old test-a-roo. Oh, I'm turning a little bit, guys. Oh, it's slow, though. It's really slow. It's kind of like a vehicle that doesn't have power steering right now. Oh, my God. This is literally a tank right now. I can turn it, though, guys. You can see? Look, I'm turning it. Look, I'm turning. I'm using my A and D keys. A and D. I am turning, but my turn speed is pretty slow. So what are we using for a turn speed? Well, a 3.2. Value of 3.2? Not very much now, is it? Okay. Now if we look at our, we could actually increase it right here. So we could test it right here. So instead of changing it right here, we can later, right? Eventually we're going to make these all private. But for now, for testing and creating, we're just going to keep them public. Okay, well, let's increase this value because that's way too low. I don't know, let's add 10 to it. Let's try that out. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick Control S. And let's find out, see what it does. Oh, yeah, that's better. Backwards, forwards. Oh, my brain can't think backwards. Oh, we almost lost her, boys and girls. Ah, we lost her. We definitely lost her. What kind of mass is that anyways? My left and right brain here. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're turning a bit better, guys. A little bit faster, right? I'm not moving forward or backwards. All I'm doing is pressing A and D. Okay? All right, it's kind of like being on a stick. Imagine you're a popsicle stick and you're just turning the stick. Essentially, that's what we're doing. Okay, so it's a little bit, so it's an improvement. But let's add up another 10 here. Whoops. Change our values. Okay. We'll keep the speed of our vehicle. That's the vehicle speed. I could have gave it a different name. You could have wrote vehicle speed. It would make more sense, right? Logically. All right, let's try. Okay, that's better. Now we're turning, boys and girls. It seems a lot better, more realistic. We're starting to look more like, you know, a vehicle that has front steering tires, right? Versus a vehicle that, you know, is being moved sideways, right? This is how you maneuver a vehicle, guys and gals. Okay, it's all about your setup. I don't know if you, like most of you probably aren't truck drivers, but let me just show you something. So when you're backing up a trailer or whatever, setup is key. So if you set up your vehicle, you're kind of jackknifed. And the trailer would be set up, you know, the way the trailer would be. And yeah, I'm not going to get into that now, but setup is key. So I'm doing that so I could do kind of like a 3-point turn here. Okay. There we go. Let's turn around our vehicle. Except now I can't really see. And here we go. All right. All right. Left and right is going to be a little bit different because we're going the other way. I'm Superman. Superman. That's the name of our tank. Superman. He's the boulder tosser. Boulder driver over. Ah! Let's go. We almost done this? I think that's it, guys and gals. So the only other thing to do is clean up your code a little bit. Cleaning up the code. Basically, cleaning up the code is, now that we kind of got it, we have an actual operational, functional vehicle. We're going to make all our fields, we're going to keep them, I'm going to go like this and like that. Okay, there we go. Now they're all private. And anything else? Well, really, I could delete these lines. Okay, so again, guys, when you're doing this, you just got to test your variables, see which ones are the correct ones. Pick the ones, you know, that make the most logical sense. And test, right? Test your code. Now you have a better understanding kind of what to type. And you have a better understanding on C# coding as well. So appreciate you guys watching, 100%. See, our values are now gone, right? Hold up, maybe I should click the vehicle, right? So they're gone. Okay, the only thing we have is the script. Everything is private. Okay, that's it. That's it, guys. The code is now good. We're using rotate for turning. Our vector is up. Okay. If you look at the inputs, you understand why we're using up. It makes more sense now, doesn't it? Versus like I said, guys, I could type these lines of code and you can see me typing vector 3 dot up, and you would probably be sitting here going, scratching your head going, why is he writing up? Right? I'll bet you guys watching this video, even though it was long and drawn out and everything, you understand why now, why the word up is being used. All right, I appreciate every single one of you. Much love. Supporters, recent subscriber, you're awesome. Those of you that hit the like button, double thumbs up. You guys are all legends. You're all awesome, beautiful people. I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know. What are we doing next? What are we doing next? We're going to do the challenge. That's what we're doing next. Stay tuned, guys. Johnny with Whiskey Tango Coding. Appreciate you again. Much love and peace out. See you guys in the next video. Take care.